Good evening or good morning whenever you see this video. Leg day today, getting ready to grind it out here in Iron Heaven. And not too late today, but late enough to where I'm still a little winded, still a little tired. So volume, I'm gonna play everything by ear. Got hamstrings, got quads, and then from there, just probably, yeah, just hamstrings and quads tonight. So with that being said, we're gonna limit the movements, leg extension, leg curl, some type of squat movement, haven't decided on that yet, and some glute work. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so for this type of leg training, it's a couple of ways that you can do your leg training in a fasted state. So you can go the higher volume route, as in doing more sets, right? But that's obviously more energy expended, and that's probably energy that you don't have following a fasting period. So if you do that, then obviously you want to keep the reps considerably low, meaning in the 6 to 8 to 10 range. Now, you may think that means you got to do a lot of heavy weight if you keep it in that range, and that's not necessarily the truth. You can focus on the tempo. You could do extended eccentrics, things of that nature. So there's one way to do it. The other way to do it is the way that I'm doing it. Just take it from a moderate volume approach. You pick one exercise for glutes, one exercise for hamstrings, maybe two for quads, and then two for hamstrings, but you want to make it equal out to around about 4 exercises. So I find in this particular period of fasting that 4 exercises is kind of my limit, and I'm usually hitting around about 3 to 4 work sets. So today it was on the lower end of 3 with the exception of the leg press. But every other exercise was around about 3. I wouldn't even say moderately hard. I'd say a little bit challenging, but nothing that wasn't doable in the context of this particular period that I'm going through right now. So with that being said, I'm making sure that I'm working through a relatively full range of motion around my joints. It's a little bit funny because at this point in the day, I'm still dehydrated, even though I drank a bunch of water. It's hard for the body to catch up after you get done fasting and dehydrating yourself for the day. So here's where I start to deviate a little bit from the lower volume approach for this. I opted to not do a squatting movement. So to make up for that volume, the goal was to hit 10 sets of 10 here on the leg press in more of a every minute on the minute fashion rather than German volume training. So if you looked at a short that I put up a few days ago, I spoke about German volume training, 10 sets of 10, and how I did that for shoulders and arms just to get in, get out, 3 movements, call it good. With that being said, there's a difference between every minute on the minute versus German volume training. Yes, I try to hit it in the 10 by 10 format, but with the German volume training, I'm a little bit more concerned on the tempo of the movement, whereas here I'm not. I'm just trying to get through 10 reps quick as possible because the rest periods are absolutely short. I'm resting only about maybe at the most 40 seconds between sets. With German volume style training, you can get in about a minute, maybe a minute 15, minute 30 rest between each set because the weight is supposed to be relatively heavy. And then on top of that, you need to keep that rest period because you're really controlling the tempo in German volume training. There's a book by Charles Poliquin, it's the German Body Comp Program, so you may want to take a look at that. But I find when I'm doing EMOM, I'm just really trying to get the reps in. Really just trying to get the reps in, get the blood in to make sure that I'm doing the appropriate volume. So that's the difference between the German volume training and also the every minute on the minute training. It's not It's not something that I do super often in a fasting period, but I definitely want to get some blood in the muscle and exhaust myself a little bit more than I normally would this period, especially coming off of such a high volume phase. My muscles are still pretty responsive to high volume training. I get to here. I'm just really trying to finish him off. So the leg extensions weren't anything too flashy or anything like that. But again, no squatting movement. Just kind of wanted to keep it to 4 exercises. Get in, get out. Rest periods were actually pretty low, with the exception of the leg press. They were around about 45 seconds to a minute. So there you go, leg training in a nutshell. Couple more weeks on here. I'm at the halfway point of Ramadan, but overall the body is feeling good. So hopefully you picked up some tips if you're going through a fasting period. If not, you can apply these to your own training. Just have to be smart about it and put it in the right context in regards to you.
All right, guys, that's it. Finished up in a decent amount of time. I believe it's 11:42 at night. We got in here about 10:30ish or so. But in any event, it was a good one today, and made sure that I hit the legs the way that they needed to be hit. No squat variation today. That just would have been overkill. Tried to get 10 sets of 10 on the leg press. It just wasn't happening. Legs got fatigued real fast. Hoping my hamstrings don't cramp up. But either way it goes, it was a good one today. Now it's time to go home, eat food, go to sleep, wake back up, and do it all over again. Not training until Monday night. Got work in the way and just really need to rest a little bit more. So with that being said, thanks a lot, guys. Like, subscribe to the channel. Bringing in some more content. Hopefully a whiteboard session will be coming to you guys on Monday. That has yet to be seen. We'll see how I feel. But other than that, just keeping these videos short and sweet and to the point. So until next time, guys, y'all have a good night.